So guys, it's Desrow. It's Replay Thursday, episode 2. We got a lot of replays. I posted a thread on Reddit. People voted it. I think that will be how we're gonna do the replays submission from now on. An hour or two before a Replay Thursday, I'm gonna post on Reddit, and the most upvoted replays will be picked. So don't email me since the picking method has been changed. First come, first serve. It's kind of nice, but it's kind of lame too. So now we got 1 bronze, 1 gold, 2 diamond, and 3 master replays coming up. I'll do them in order: bronze, gold, diamond, master, master. So if you're a little bit eye level and you're watching the stream right now, you know, you can go do your chores, macro your real life, do your laundry, do your dishes, and come back later because we'll have better games if that's what you are looking for. All right, so we got this guy from the chat, N8 something. I'm sorry for forgetting your name. Submitting a replay, PVZ. So we'll go out faster. We'll also do some notes. That was a test. So notes for PVZ and Tomb, and those notes will be available in the YouTube description along with the replay. I know some folks out there like to get hands on the replay. Scouting on 9, pylon seems fine. Chronoing 11-12 for a bronze player so far. You're doing a lot better than some of the bronze players I've coached. And if you're a bronze player that I coached before, I hope you don't feel that I said that because of you. You should always scout close position. Alright, so right here you're making a little bit too many probes. But I guess it's fine since you're going to do a really late nexus. I prefer to do 16 nexus and rally the 15 probe, and to do a sooner forge. Well, I guess the forge would be the same time, but your nexus would be sooner. Alright, so you make forge pylon. You can go to 18. So like your build orders are a little wrong. I have some guides on my YouTube if you want a really specific build order to improve your right now it should be a cannon and not a gas, and then after the cannon you should double gas. But I feel that you might be a little annoyed at the drone, so maybe your build order was delayed because of that, so I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt. I also like the cannon of your positioning, the positioning of your cannon, because if he tries to run in, you can put a gate and then a pylon. So that's a good, because the last thing you want to do is put your cannon 1 square to the right. That way, if the links come, you can build a gate here, but you're not going to be able to wall it off. You can of course leave the pro bundle position, but anyway. So I like the positioning of your cannon. You can also put the cannon here. However, if they try to snipe down your forge, it can go badly. So if they go 14 pool, the cannon here is not recommended, but it helps greatly against rocks. On a map like this, it's good to try to take a fast third. So, and one thing too is you're playing in the dark right now. You could die to an all-in, and that happens a lot at low levels. So always confirm with a second probe, a second scout, the third. So always confirm third to not die to all-ins, buddy. That smiley was ugly. Alright, so now you're going for gases, you're getting +1, you're getting core. This opening can either be fake pressure or pressure. Fake pressure has to be real fake pressure, and then you have to kind of take a quick third. So I don't know what you're going to go with, but you have a lot of chrono, you're not making a lot of probes. That's a big issue. Well, I mean, you are playing with a. Well, the guy is not floating too much energy. Well, yeah, he's floating a lot of energy. You're playing against a bronze player, so it doesn't look so bad, but you need to be chronoing more than that. Your chrono should be really low. There's no reason to save it in PVZ. Sometimes I save it in PVT, so I can react and have more options. Alright, so here. Well, unfortunately for you, that guy made a lot of links. He made a lot of links to kill the rocks. One thing you can do is you can come with your stalker here, and you'll see the HP of the rocks. If the rocks has really low HP, that means there's a fuckload of links. which means you should maybe confirm with your stalker that there's a lot of lanes and then not go up. Alright, so right now you're going for double robo. Maybe that was a mistake. You were like, I forgot my robo. But double robo is something you don't want to do. It is like a very like dimensional all in. Also, on this map, if you want to take a quick third, you just do pylon gate, and then you can put down a third. Usually what I'll do is I'll do pylon, nexus, gate. It's walled off. You can build a cannon behind it. You can warp a sentry behind it. But yeah, right now, this guy as a third, a lot of larvas, or should have a lot of larvas and a lot of injects. So yeah, you're behind. Also, if you're playing a macro game, you should never have downtime on your. Sorry, it's a habit. You should never have downtime on your forge. So never have downtime on your forge. Double robo is not versatile at all. Also, if you're gonna make an observer, you always want to rally it at your enemy base. You never want to have downtime with an observer. You know, that little buddy right here is pretty slow. His movement speed is like even slower than an immortal and a sentry, you know, and those are pretty slow. So you need to send that out. If you don't have map control and you have no clue what he's doing, you can always go through the rush path, which is what you're doing. So I appreciate that. But you need to know, is it Infestor, is it Mutas? Right now it's Mutas. Oh, so you actually cancel that second robo. Alright. Well, I give you the tip to not make double robo, so I mean that's not wasted. But right now, lots of chrono, lots of probes here. That's okay. So you're chronoing the twi. But yeah, you need to confirm Infestor, Spire. A quick fourth. Does he have spores? No spores, then you can go for DTs. You split a DT per mineral line, and that will do great. If there's spores against Mutas, I'll go Templars. If I committed to a Robo Bay, I'll get 1 or 2 Colossus, and that helps versus Lynx. So that's something you have to keep in mind. It's okay to do a full wall off here. Alright, so here's another issue, right? You made 10 sentries. Alright, so now you're going to 13 sentries. Alright, so in PvZ, some builds will have 4 sentries, and the rest of the builds will have 6. Going more than that is like is really dangerous, and because you know Fungal owns it, Mutas owns it. If you want to go back into Stalkers, you're limited on gas right now, so you're gonna struggle versus Mutas. And plus, on this map, it's a very defensive map. There's 2 ramps. You don't have you could hold this with 6 sentries for a pretty long time, and then if you're like really afraid of having to need more, then yeah, you can make more sentries, but never more than 6 sentries. Never more than 6 sentries unless you're following a fancy build. So yeah, never have downtime with the observer. Confirm Muta or Infestor versus Muta. If no spores at each base, go for DT. Otherwise, go for Templar. And right now, you're losing a lot at your third. I missed that. Sorry, folks. So you're losing a lot at your third. You're lucky that guy went for the Robo Bay, because that wasn't a good trade for him. Oh, but now he's switching into Hydras. Alright, so where's your observer? See, your observer is like, alright guys, if he comes out and it's too late for you to have the right units, then at least we'll know it's too late and he comes out. That's what your observer is saying right now. Like, he's not telling you, but he's telling me that. So that's something you have to keep in mind. You know, the guy has no spore, the guy has no overseer, the guy. Sometimes they will have it, sometimes you will lose it, but it's worth the risk. So that's a little unfortunate. But you're rebuilding the Robo Bay, even though it's versus Mutas, something I wouldn't do. So props to you for, yeah. Also, the cannon positioning needs to be in the middle line, behind the middle line. Right now, your cannons are like, alright, so you can kill all my probes, but as soon as you get out of the middle line, I will fuck you up. That's what your cannons are saying right now. So that's something you also have to keep in mind. I think you actually remain another century. So, yeah. But, you know, I'm really happy that you sent me this replay because your mistakes are very, very obvious. Your gameplay is not so bad. Your saturation is pretty decent. I mean, you lost some probes here, but it's pretty decent. You try to follow you try to follow the 16 rule, and yeah, so that's pretty good. So yeah, for a bronze player, that's very impressive. All right, so one thing you want to do versus mutas, you want to put the main army on 1, and then the stalkers that are defending, you want to put them on 2. That way, it makes it easier to micro them. Alright, so nice force fields, very, a little bit like too many right here, and 1 here, but other than that, that was pretty good. You want to keep Guardian Shield popped at all times. Yeah, that was a pretty good cleanup. Your upgrades are pretty good as well, so you have good upgrades. You have good upgrades and good probe saturation. Plus. Good probe saturation, good upgrades. Versus mutas, make second group control of stalkers to help you defend. Cannons need to be in the middle line or behind, not around the nexus. Big example is this right here. It's like exactly what I was talking about. When you make an nexus, you want to build pylons around it so you can warp. Yeah, exactly. But behind is helpful as well for helping to set up cannons. Alright, so right now you're moving out, right? And you're moving out with 900 minerals, 700 gas, very dimensional army, only 1 Colossus. Right now, if you stay at home and make Stalkers and Templars, you come back with 2 sorts of AoE. So that's one thing, like, he saw a Colossus, like, there's no reason for him to go Hydralisk anymore. Now he's going into Roach Corruptor, and he's gonna kick your butt. So, always make sure that your army is versatile. Always make sure to maybe try to scout his army with an Overseer by suiciding his Zealot. Check his upgrades, check your upgrades. Alright, I'm happy with my upgrades. Alright, I'm behind on upgrades, maybe throw down a second forge. And yeah, right now, so you transfer a little bit from here, oh, see, that's a big thing. You never want to, and here you kind of like over probed a little bit, so I assume you're not gonna transfer. Alright, so that's a big thing. Before you make an attack, do I have a lot of money? Yes. I want to spend it first. Okay. I go back, spend it, make sure my economy is okay, then go attack. And also make sure your army is, like I said, 2 AoEs, because right now the roaches, well, you do have immortals and good upgrades, but also bring a probe for proxy pylon. So bring a probe for proxy pylon. Always make sure you won't run out of AoE. Always try to scout his army with a Zealot or Observer. So yeah, let's see how you take that fight. Try to back the Colossus. You try to focus the Corruptors. You have decent force fields once again for a bronze player. That's pretty good. I've had some bronze players that come to me and they're like, yeah, I didn't like sentries and force fields, so I never bothered to make them. But you're a man of trying things, you know. You're probably the kind of guy that when sushi got popular, you're like, what's wasabi? Let's eat a spoonful. So right now you made 6 Templars. It's not something I like. I mean, 6, like, the thing with Templars is they're like slow and they get stuck behind your army. So, and I mean, 6 storms, yeah, I guess, I don't know, that's like a huge gas commitment, but you will have enough gas ratio to make a lot of stalkers behind this. So we'll see how it turns out. Right, so you kind of like got out of position. You're kind of like making a lot of gates. this base is still saturated and you're still making probes. Like once you have 16 on one base, 16 on another base, and 16 on another base, you want to stop. So sometimes they'll put you at 72, 74, but yeah, so you're kind of over probing here. So let's see the storms, the magical storms. So you're getting more Colossus, I like that. Alright, so you're doing pretty well for yourself. That attack right here was kind of lucky that he didn't clean you up. Oh, and yeah, that is why you want, that is why you, sometimes you want to like a full wall off your mineral line, like Panon, cannon. And pylon, maybe pylon, you know. You don't want to leave yourself vulnerable to Ling 1 by. So either have a lot of cannons, which you don't, which are pretty far once again, or you want to full wall it off and with one entrance, then you can leave a Zealot. Let's say here, you have like Panon gates, Panon gate, for example. So be creative with your SimCities. So you're keeping the upgrades up. At that time, at the point in time in the game, you want to start not taking the middle base. Yeah, at this point in the game, you want Colossus, and you always want the Watchtower. So always make a Zealot. Always check for the Watchtower. Always check for the bottom bases and the top right bases. You went mutas. You were pinned down. You haven't seen anything. Like, you haven't traveled, and you're like that. Those Protoss army never traveled in their lifetime so far. So he could have a hidden base here while he was harassing you with mutas and stuff, and you could be pretty behind. So it's always good. Send us off here, here. Send us off here. So scout corners with Zealot. Better SimCities at exposed expansions. Get Mothership when you see Corruptors, Broodlords will come later. That's like, I mean, it could be a more technical advice, but that's like the advice I'm giving you right now. Alright, so, he's on a lot of roaches, not that many infestors. When you see an army composition like this, mixing in a few Void Rays and storming the infested Terrans can pay a lot for yourself. I see you're being very ballsy here with this 13 groups of Stalkers. That's very inspiring. However, that's a lot of gas, and you don't have any recall. Oh, you're going in. He has the Fatty Queen. The Fatty Queen isn't able to transfuse, and it goes down. Alright, so you sort of got lucky. I mean, even at my level, sometimes late game, the Queens will have a lot of energy to transfuse. So this attack right here is, was very ballsy and lucky. So I wouldn't recommend that too much. And right now, like, you saw Broodlord, you saw Infested, you saw a sick ground army. This is suicide. Simply because you don't have the counter to Broodlords, which is, you know, Mothership Archon or air units. You have none of that. Like, I mean, Colossus Stalkers can somehow get rid of it, but against that many Roach, that many Infestors, no. Like, you shouldn't do too good here. Oh, and the Infestor the Templar gets cut out of position. Oh, yeah. So you see, you were both at 200. Well, you have a lot of gates actually, but yeah, that many roaches, that many broodlords. It's like a really hard fight to take. So like I was saying, Mothership and well, yeah, one thing here is always make sure you don't have idle workers. And it really like if you would harass with a Warp Prism and Zealots bases, that because one thing about Zerg is it's really easy for them to turtle on 4 bases with Infestor Broodlord, but the moment they have to start flying somewhere or defend somewhere, that's really hard for them. So, you know, you send Zealots here, you send Zealots there, and then your bank is more, if you send more Zealots, your bank is more even, I guess. It's more, it has better proportion. Yeah. He's getting all sorts of PM. Alright, come on guys. So yeah, right now, you know, alright, so you're starting to make some voyage race, you're starting to be like, oh, I need a mothership. That's kind of late. Yeah, I kind of would have pounced on him when the roaches were here. I would have gone for it, but now it's kind of... And that guy has drones with him, he's like, no. But, you know, that's very good, just send the void ray in. And try to kill the Corruptor. Alright, so just blink back a little bit, keep warping in. You're doing pretty well for yourself. Alright, so, oh, you have a bunch of stalkers here. So I like that you're trying to multitask with stalkers, but like I said, I'd be happier if you did it with Zots, because gas is like a very, like, you know, there's a reason oil is so expensive. It's because it's a very rare and important resource, you know. There's a reason there's wars about it. There's a reason you're fighting in StarCraft about gas. This is pretty expensive and important. So, Zots, you know, minerals, pretty shitty in general for Protoss. So, yeah, try that for a change. More Zot harass. You're trying your best here, but it's kind of like sending like a million roaches. I wish you would have made more than one void ray, you know? Like the moment you saw, you should have been pumping like void rays non-stop. The moment you saw that all the infestors died. Like, even these days, like even if there are infestors, I'll make void rays, man. Like infested Terrans, if you pull back, then they're casted for nothing, you know? And yeah, that base was never saturated. You had like 6 idols workers. This base was oversaturated. This base was almost mined out. You never filled those gases. So economy management is always something you want to do. So you know, when you took that base, or when you took that base, you're like, all right, I got a new base. Then you go check every base. What do I transfer? Where are my probes? Because you have a lot of probes, but you have a pretty crappy economy. But yeah, those roaches, man, they did a lot of work. So you're trying to harass here. That's pretty cute. But when you see that many roaches, man, just make a few immortals and void rays, and you should have done very well for yourself. But like I said, Zealots, War Prism, we're gonna keep going here. Always try to grab the tower. You know, no one has the tower. If you have a Zealot on the tower, then you know he's stopping his attack. But yeah, you would have done very well with some Zots. He hasn't made Great Spire. Alright, screw you guys. It's bothering me because I feel like every time I get a message, it's because there's something wrong with the stream. Alright. So see, this is oversaturated. I'd rather you count how many you have extras out of 24. Even maybe like stay on only 16 and just do long distance mining and then fill the gases. Especially like at low level, filling the gases, or even at my level, filling the gases so you don't have to look at it once the base is complete is like a wonderful thing. So yeah, right now you're like you're going into Colossus again. If you would have had the tower with the Zod, you would have seen that many roaches, and then you should have known that you needed immortals. But yeah, because like if it goes back into an army composition like this with Stalker Colossus, and the roaches are that well upgraded and you don't have immortals, you're gonna get pooped on. And at that point in the game, usually I don't make double robo, but I also don't have funky games like those, so a second robo would have been useful at that point in the game. Alright, so you've been lagging and you've been sad that the game has come to an end. The roaches were too much. The infestation of the Zerg. You should have called an exterminator sooner before they ate your house down. So yeah, well, that was a pretty good game. A few notes, and then when you get a new base, check every base, their saturation, transfer workers, fix gases, and all that. Late game, get second robo. Yeah, just get second robo. Harass with Zots. Not stalker. Gas is precious. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you, Pounder Brown, or NW8, or NW, or N8S something that submitted a replay. Thank you a lot for this bronze replay. There was a few comical things about your play. All in all, if you fix those mistakes, you should be close to promotion. You're doing pretty well for yourself, making enough workers, getting good enough upgrades. Of course, you make some questionable attacks with no proxy pylons. You don't harass with Zots. You make mothership very late. You don't take full advantage of no anti-air from Zerg, and you didn't make enough void rays. And you make too many sentries. You have to every time someone that I help makes too many of a unit for the situation or the matchup, I call it the syndrome. So you, sir, have the sentry syndrome, and it's a syndrome that's very contagious to that, and it's very devastating. So please get rid of that sentry syndrome. Thank you for coming to me, the doctor, and I hope I helped you out. So guys, this was game 1 of episode 2 of Replay Thursday. After the break, we'll be back with game 2. Stay tuned.